What's up, everybody? This is Bradley Roberto, Cutternation podcast. I'm here with Brian Reyes. He is a very good friend of mine. We train together, we coach together, and now we fucking live together.
Yeah.
Brian, how you doing? Where the fuck are we?
I'm doing good. We're actually out here in Florida, so we're out here for the Black Sox. This is my first time in Florida, actually. I've always wanted to go to Florida. It's just different being the East Coast and the West Coast. I love the vibe so far. Like, I remember you from a little bit from Parkview. Like, I remember hearing the name, and then Olympian, then that's where we kind of met, and then it was just Cutternation, and then now we're here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been awesome.
So we'll get into the Florida and the Black Sox and all that, what we're doing now, but let's talk about the Brian Reyes origin story. You could talk about, you kind of got into how we met. You could just talk about how your baseball story, right? Because this is what it's for. Like, I want this podcast to be not just for like the random followers we have, but the people that we actually know back home, and for a way that we can kind of stay connected to our people back there. So, and you know, back at the facility and shit, people got to know you. They know you as this current Brian Reyes. And from my experience, and obviously it goes deeper with just you, but I've seen many different versions of Brian. But it's really all the same. But it's really the evolution of Brian Reyes.
Yeah.
So let's start off. Yes, we met in high school at Olympian, right? I was a senior. You were a freshman, was that?
Yep, freshman.
Or was I a junior?
I think you were a senior.
I was a senior,
Because I came in 2014.
Yeah, okay, 2014.
Yeah.
I remember I do specifically remember. I didn't talk to you, we didn't get to really connect as much, but I was like, okay, yeah, this kid came from Parkview, East Lake, and this thick motherfucker was kind of barreling on baseballs. I kind of wanted you on varsity.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted you on varsity, but we had two catchers that were juniors and seniors. They were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You probably would have been better. Shout out, Alex and Abraham. He's definitely better than you guys. Although Abraham is a really good chef right now.
Yeah, I've been seeing that. I want to try something, Abraham.
So, all right, let's talk about how you grew up in baseball, in Chula Vista and San Diego.
So, I guess it would kind of have to start with why I started baseball. So, when I first moved to the United States when I was 4, I asked him, I was like, why did we move? And then, because I was just like barely understanding, and I just knew we went from one country to another, like why? And then he said, well, we came here to give you more opportunities, so whatever you want to do, you can give to your family and your future generations. So from 4 to 8 years old, I was just like, what am I going to be? Like, I wanted to be an engineer like my dad, and then I was like, math is kind of hard. Like, it's not just adding and subtracting. So then I went to astronaut, and then to baseball player, to more math. Yeah, more math. I was like, planets are cool, but even more math. And then I was like, one day I was at a birthday party, and I was hitting a baseball, and I just smacked it. Like, I smacked it over the farthest person, and I just ran all the way, and then they were still running after the ball. Yeah. So I was like, dude, this is fun. And then I found out you can do that professionally.
Yeah,
so I was like, yo, let me do that. Yeah. So at 8 years old, that's when I just started it. And why I still play it, I think it's just because I love hitting a baseball. Yeah. Like, I just love the feeling of just barreling balls. I just love the feeling of winning, of being with my friends.
Yeah.
So I think that's
you would
why.
love golf.
Yeah, so I think the only reason why I don't like golf is because the one time I went with Mason Thompson. Shout out Mason, he's out there in Texas somewhere serving our country. But I went there and I broke the club head.
Oh,
like, it was just like a third swing.
Hey, you break bats too, it's all good.
Exactly. Yeah. So kept pursuing baseball, and then grew up in East Lake, Chula Vista, East Lake area, and then went to Olympian, but then ended up going to East Lake High School, and then college route, Cutternation.
Yeah, I probably should have went to East Lake High School too,
Low key.
Hey, we did win a CIF championship though my senior year, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Hey, you know baseball started like way back in the day just by like cavemen, or however you want to call it, Homo sapiens. It started out just a ball and stick, just that satisfaction of hitting something with a stick.
Yes.
And then, like, so that's how the game of baseball started. That's how games like cricket started. That's how games like tennis, just hitting an object. It was like probably a rock and a stick.
I agree.
But that's, and then obviously wherever they were at, it kind of spawned into different games. Obviously in the U.S., You know what I mean? I think stickball might have even came first in New York. There was just hitting something with the stick, and that evolved into baseball, and overseas in Europe that evolved into like stuff like cricket. But
I want to say one quick thing on that. So, and I actually got it from like the Goda kind of aspect. There's always that controversy that people say like, oh, throwing isn't like a human thing, or you're not meant to throw. Well, okay, well, what about like the monkeys or the Homo sapiens that learned how to throw a rock or
throw their fucking shit at somebody there?
Exactly, yeah, throw their shit at somebody. Yeah,
like, oh
shit, there's someone coming.
Yeah.
Turn 2. Boom. So it's like, okay, if they were doing it since like the Stone Age, and it's like we kind of stopped throwing stuff. Like I did see like in World War II, they made baseballs as signs of hand grenades.
Oh,
because they think like every kid, everybody should be able to throw something, you know? So throwing is something that is innate in humans. It just, we don't practice it as a society now.
Right.
So it's just weird, you know?
Right.
But I more than believe that it started off as a stickball, just the satisfaction of someone hitting something or someone chucking something.
Yeah, that's why like the feeling of barreling up a baseball and smacking a golf ball, you literally get the same feeling.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty fucking, it's dangerous. It's only, if it wasn't expensive, it wouldn't be as dangerous. It would be a lot more fun, but it's fucking dangerous. But I've also learned a lot from golf, and it's been a lot of fun. I actually just read about how World War II, like how baseball kept going during World War II. Like it actually kind of started, like it developed in the Depression, you know what I mean? Like they needed some kind of cheap entertainment first, and then obviously once they rolled out of the Depression, like in the late 1930s, rolling into the 1940s, it started booming. That's when they started playing night games because steel factory workers couldn't get to games during the day and stuff like that, and it was hot. And so somebody put up the first set of lights, and now they're able to have night games because, like, oh, you get out of work and you see in the town that there's these beaming lights, and like, oh, let's go over there. You know what I mean? Oh, baseball game, oh, it's cheap, you know what I mean? Well, however many. But then, you know, they wanted to keep it rolling, and FDR had to sign off, had to give the green light to baseball because, you know, there was a whole bunch of other shit. There's a whole war going on the other side. Yeah. So imagine now, like, we're lucky that, hey, we're playing and we don't have to get a call, hey, you got to go to war now. Like, imagine that. Like, they talked about Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams having to suit up and go to war and then come back and play. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking crazy to me, just the history of baseball.
No, it's insane.
Yeah. But, all right, let's go into how you found Cutternation.
Okay, so how I found Cutternation. So it's actually from the boy Octavio Sanchez. Shout out Octavio. And he was going. I actually noticed him throwing harder because I knew Octavio since like Little League. Like he went to Sweetwater, but then we grew up kind of in Eastlake High School. And then he wasn't terrible, but he just started throwing.
You can say he was bad.
He's a lot better now. He threw slow. But he was throwing harder, and then harder and harder, and then I was like, yo, like I was like, my arm was poop, and like, so I was like, yo, like I want to throw harder. What are you doing? So he brought me to John. He brought me to Cutternation, and he brought me to PSP when it was in the hallway.
What year was this? Do you remember?
This was in junior college. So graduated high school 2017. So 2018.
Yeah. So this was before I met John too.
Yeah. So 2018-19. That's where I started. Like it was like that hallway, and then I would just go to him the first day. I'll be honest. I did not, like, he told me a lot of things, but I didn't understand a thing he said. But what I knew from it, I was like, whatever he said was smart, and I need to come back.
Made sense. It kind of made sense. It was different than what you've heard.
Exactly. Completely different than what I've heard that any other coach would have told me. Like, any question he asked me, I thought one answer was right, but it was no. Like, that's not it.
I mean, in John's eyes, it wasn't right. In someone else's eyes, it probably was. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Was Eric or Taylor there at the time?
Eric wasn't there, but Taylor was, he was throwing.
So he was still training.
He was training.
He was still like a client. He was still a client.
He was a client, yeah. And he was actually like somebody I would look to, and I would be like, I would show up and he was like doing something. Like he was always doing something by the time I was there and not. So I was like, oh shit, like if I'm trying to make it to the next level, that's how I have to train. Like the weighted, like doing the weighted balls, all your arm care, your throwing, your weights, like all that stuff.
So 2018, so Taylor had to have been either just got released from the Red Sox, going back to indie ball? Was that
Yes,
the time? Did you get to
yes.
talk to him at all? And
So
Yeah.
a little bit. I talked to him more at the second facility, cause still at the hallway, I was like, I don't want to get in his way. Like I don't really know and stuff. Like I might have said hi or something,
Yeah.
but I was still kind of shy. And then like once the second facility, I was like, okay, like get more comfortable.
Yeah, Taylor gets into a different mood when he really starts throwing, and
Yeah.
really, especially when he gets on the mound.
No, when he gets, I'll be honest, bro. There was one time he was throwing live. Like he's like, yeah, I'll suit up and stuff, and like just like everybody was just taking like fastballs inside and shit. And he was like, why the fuck aren't you guys hitting it? Like,
Yeah.
he was getting mad. He
Yeah.
was like, bro, I want some competition.
Yeah.
And he was just like, bro,
Yeah, calling everyone pussy.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
gets off the mound. Gets off the mound. It's like, damn, Taylor, you're a fucking asshole. He goes, I said all that? He goes, I don't even know, bro. I fucking blacked out.
No, when I feel that, it's that competition. It's like, yo, when I want to play, I want to play.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's not, like, wanting to play, it's like, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have, you went from PSP, right? Then we got to Kearney Mesa.
Yes.
Right, that was right in our green facility.
Yes.
In our greenhouse.
Greenhouse.
In our fucking greenhouse, and then that's when me and you, I kind of got into there. But what I liked about Cutternation is that everyone who kind of worked there started out as a client, right? One of
Yes.
John's client, and then that brings into, Zach was John's first client, which I had no idea until like later. Did you know that
No.
Zach was John's first throwing client?
Armstrong?
Yeah.
I thought it was Eric. I thought
No.
Eric was... Oh, it was Zach?
Not Taylor, not Eric, it was Zach.
Oh, he's...
Right.
Damn.
Right.
That's
Which is cool,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Which is really cool. So, I remember my first time going to Cutternation, right? Actually, let's back that up. Let's go how I met John.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Yeah.
Do you know the story?
Kind of. It was something with like the... Actually, I don't. I was thinking about Joe Torre. How you met Joe Torre.
Okay, so it's
yeah.
kind of similar.
Okay, okay.
It's kind of similar. Me and my boy Alex Bentley, we
Shout out Alex.
Yeah. I'd be a good guy on a podcast too. Holy shit.
Yeah, bro, have him out here in Florida, bro.
Holy
Yeah,
shit,
fuck
fuck,
it.
he would do it.
Yeah.
He would. Yeah, but anyway, we ran this tournament called the Moneyball Invitational in San Diego because we wanted one. Like I was just out of college, we were finding. I was trying to find ways to make money in baseball and stuff like that. So I was umpiring at the time. I coached a little bit. I saw the travel ball scene a lot more, and then we saw these tournaments with like 30, 40, 50, 60 teams, right? All paying $1,000 plus to enter these tournaments, right? And then we see 30 teams. All right, that's 30 grand. Like, where's this money going, right? How much they're paying for fields, umpires, maybe some baseballs, and obviously, and whoever was working for them, and that was about it. So where's the rest of the money going, right? Are they just pocketing the money, or were they doing that? But anyway, there was some profit in there. So me and him, we wanted to run our own baseball tournament, but one for money, you know what I mean? Like, these kids aren't, obviously they're winning rings, banners, maybe a t-shirt, stuff like that, but there's a lot of money that we can get. So we wanted to try to get a baseball tournament in San Diego where the best baseball players come and play, and then the way to do that to get pro is open tournament, winning team got 10 grand, right? And
Yo, I'd sign up.
Yeah, for sure. And it was fun, I mean, we had a lot of good baseball players out there, saw a lot of familiar faces. It was a really fun event. It was a lot of work, very stressful. Kind of glad COVID kind of killed it for us.
Yeah.
Dealing with the adult ball world is a different animal.
Yeah, it is.
So, but anyway, this one team paid John to throw a game for them, right? To pitch a game, and he ended up throwing. It was like one of the San Diego teams faced against an LA team, who was one of the best probably adult ball teams in Southern California, right? Their record was crazy. Every year they're winning tournaments and stuff like that, and he pitched against them at Santee Sportsplex on the little ass kid mound, 300-foot field, grown ass man. It was 60-90 though, so it was like, hey, who cares? More homers, come on.
Yeah,
Who
right.
cares?
Yeah.
The homers kind of made it fun. But yeah, they hired him to pitch, and he threw a complete game to beat that team and send them into playoffs. And then so I met him at the Moneyball Invitational, right? And of course that's when I started seeing them on Instagram. So I wanted to go in there to learn how to throw better, and I saw all these pitchers that they had, and I needed some pitchers to face, right? So long story short, I went in there to start throwing with John, just like how you did. My arm was poop, I was hurt all the time.
Same.
And I needed to find the next level of hitting training, which wasn't T-work, front toss, swing training. It wasn't swing training, right? I felt like I had a pretty good swing, especially coming off, leading my conference in hits and batting average 2 years in a row. So it's like, what was next for me? It's like, all right, I got to go find some good arms and better people to face. And so that's how I met John. And then I started hitting there, throwing there, and then that's when you came along. And we started training together, working together. And from there, we've done a lot together.
Yeah,
and
no, for real, we put in a lot of work. And
Oh.
I think it was starting from once I left Vanguard, once I left my college, right before I left to that Canadian league, that's when I feel like we started the swing kind of not you could say journey, I guess,
Just
of
training,
the cutter
you know what I
training,
mean?
yeah.
Just training.
And then it took me okay, I got it. I got the 100 mile per hour exit velo, and then after that it was okay, stop being vegan.
Hey, but before that, what was keeping you from getting the 100? Because you're this thick ass kid swinging the fuck out of the bat, and poof, 88.
88. Yeah. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I really got that one.
88.
Yeah,
Right.
it was the vegan part, bro. Yeah. So I was vegan for a year.
Sorry, I did the vegan thing too. It didn't work for me either.
Yeah,
So.
it was from that Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
What's that? I forget the name of it, but it was that one Netflix.
It was Game
documentary.
Changers.
Game Changer, I think it was that one, and it was
Yeah.
how the protein is a cleaner fuel and all
Yeah,
that.
you can
And
buy
okay, that might be true. It might be cleaner fuel, but what's more sustainable? The
Right.
whole milk, the whole butter, meat,
Yeah.
okay, numbers speak for itself. I went from being vegan, something 88, and now it's 100 plus.
Yeah.
So big difference. But yeah, after that, I think and I want to say one thing too on the swing thing. For me personally, I feel now there's only so much you can talk about the swing.
Yeah.
It's okay, I you go back, you go forward, you go down, you get into it, you get into your hip, you rotate the ball. Now what I really like about it is the strategy. Okay,
Yeah.
what is he throwing? Slow, fast, slow.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's moving it. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's the next level shit. 'Cause really, at the end of the day, you hear even now, in the pro ball world, in the youth world, college world, and now the pro world, you still hear all these hitters talking about their swing, and then me and you're just kind of
Yeah.
whatever. Hey, doesn't matter. Did you hit the ball or did you not?
Exactly. Yeah. Did you score a run? How many runs did you score
Yeah.
today? Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we kind of got to what has been, besides all that, we definitely, me and you have grown a lot, as friends. We've done a lot together. We've grown a lot as baseball players, now as coaches, and kind of, businessmen too, because we're really involved in the business of Cutternation too, which has been a lot of fun for me, just especially with my sports management background. This was kind of something that I kind of wanted to do. I knew I was gonna, wanted to make money and, run a business somehow. Yes, I want to own a business someday. You know what I mean? And then, John, we'll talk about that when I'm done playing. But being able to have a direct influence on Cutternation, right, and the freedom that John has given us to do what we want, run the plays that we want, has been a lot of fun for us. So let's talk about the growth of Cutternation as a business, as a training program, as a baseball program. So fast forward, we went from 2 lanes of green room to the strength training, right? They had pitching and social media is when I got there,
Yeah.
right? And then I kind of got into development with some of the earlier guys like Brady and Slater to really develop the hitting program. And that's when kind of you jumped in, right? And you were a client, at first, just like everybody who works there started off as a client. And that's one thing I really like too, is that we were able to build this team internally, right? And that's something I kind of learned in school, that building from the inside, from the ground up, you see a lot of benefits from that, and a lot of synergies from that, because everyone's kind of on the same page. And you definitely fit that vibe perfectly. So let's go from your experience transitioning from a client to a worker there. What was that like for you?
So it was pretty much I remember being super eager to like start working there as soon as I can, just because I love the vibe.
Yeah.
And it was like, I love training here, and like, I mean, I love baseball, I love coaching. Like, why wouldn't I love working here?
Yeah.
You know, so I remember, and I'm glad, probably John doesn't remember this, and I'm glad he doesn't remember, because I remember I told him I was like pretty desperate at the time, just because like I just needed some place to work, and like stuff, it wasn't going good for college, and like baseball was kind of the thing going for me at the time. And I told John, I was like, John, like, I'll just let me work here. I'll clean the bathrooms. Like, I know they're dirty. I'll clean the bathrooms. And he kind of skipped over it.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, Brian, like, I want to be a coach. I don't want to clean bathrooms.
Yeah.
Here. I want to be a coach. That's fine. And don't sell yourself short. And then, but no, like, and then it just started as like, okay, like, well, we'll let you know if we need help. Like, you know, this is kind of like the hours, and then like slowly but surely I started fitting in. Like, hey, can you cover for hitting? This is what we're doing. This is blah blah blah. And then
you just hung out there. Like,
you just hung out.
You just hung out there, got your work in, hung out for the rest of the day, see what's good. And that's how I started doing, like, working out there, like working there too. And like, I just wanted to be around there. Like, I had nothing else. Well, it's not that I didn't have anything else. I had another job coaching, but like during my free time, I was like, all right, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah,
you know
and like,
I mean?
I could learn from a pro. Like, there's pro pitchers coming in, like an ear hustle. Like, what is he telling him about his throwing? Like, oh, I didn't know that. That's a new way of learning that.
Yeah.
Like, all that stuff just intrigued me and just wanted me to be there more.
Yeah, for sure. So what has been your favorite part about working there? We kind of got into training there. Yeah, you like the advanced version of training. But what's been your favorite part about working there?
I think just one word that would just capture it all is just the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, the vibe is just immaculate.
Immaculate.
Like, it's
sure.
I love it. Like, it's just, when you go in, it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Like it will never yell at a kid for like just like messing up or just like not like trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
we yelled at some kids before. But
we
it's never
definitely
for
yelled
that.
at kids. Yeah, it's not, but it's definitely not for like the wrong reasons, or what like your typical like coach would just start blaming at you for. Like, I remember we like joke about it. Like, it was the kid struck a kid out, dotted a pitch in the corner. Yeah, throw him out. The kid at third gets it and boots the ball. And we're like, boo. Yeah, but it's fun. Though. It's the game, bro. It's fun.
Yeah.
And the thing too that like why I really wanted to coach too about it is because I always felt like the coaches that I grew up with, and no disrespect, I love every single one of them, but I felt like there was more.
Yeah.
Like, there was something that like I didn't know, or like there's something about the pro world and how they acted that I just didn't know and I wasn't aware of. And it wasn't until Cutternation that I was like, this is the vibe. And then once I went to the Chicago Dogs clubhouse, and I was like, okay, let me just do the same vibe as Cutternation. Worked out great, everyone loved me, I loved them, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
So it's just learning how to be that vibe and how to be a great clubhouse guy, great teammate, and also just be a baller. That's what Cutternation is, and that's what they teach. So I love it. The vibe, immaculate.
Immaculate. Like, and the fact that we get to do this with all our boys, you know what I mean? I get to say that all the time. You know, that's something we're very fortunate to have, is that, like, obviously, like, the place is great, but the people we have there, it's like, you know, the first person I brought in to be a hitting coach was Andy. You know what I mean? He's been my best friend since we've been 5-6 years old. So, and, you know, getting to work with your best friends, you know, train together, and then now work together, and then now me and you, we're playing together, we're traveling the world, you know, the U.S. first.
The US, yeah.
We'll get to the world later. We'll get there. But yeah, you mentioned the Chicago Dogs, so they loved you there, and you know, and there was never a doubt. You know, same thing with all the Black Sox guys. You know, I knew they would all love you here, and it was from the get-go. Like, you came in hot in very Brian Reyes fashion, right? The first two games, I'll give you the first two games. The first game was probably the best version of Brian, right? Right. You put a stamp on, this is Brian Reyes. And then you went 3 for 4 with the Yak in the Yinzer League, and then
against the boy Jordan Powell. Shout out Blue
shout
Jays.
out Jordan Powell, Blue Jays, the next R.A. Dickey, especially with the mustache.
Yup.
And then the second game was, you got to see personality Brian. I remember this is the first game I was playing against you. I was standing in right field or left field. I was standing in left field. We're playing against each other, and then some other guy was hitting. And in between pitches, all I see from the corner of my eye is a freaking bat go flying. Like, in between pitches, just a bat go flying. I'm like, what the fuck fuck was that? And then bang into the stadium, an empty stadium, the Washington Wild Things stadium. I was like, what the fuck was that? And all I see is Brian just standing in the back, on deck circle with no bat. I was like, no way. I knew exactly what was going on because he was taking full G-hacks on deck, and I've seen that on deck routine where he just takes full G-hacks. It's funny because Joe talks shit about those guys. I was in there fucking taking full G-hacks for, you know what I mean, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Obviously Brian didn't know Joe at the time, so he's doing his thing, and he just freaking sends a bat in there, and everyone looks, what the fuck was that? And like, oh my God, it's fucking Brian. I was laughing my ass off.
No, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Like, I just remember, like, I perfectly remember on the on deck, like, okay, I'm gonna be loose. Like, I feel a little tight, so I'm gonna loosen up my grip a little bit. And I just take a leg kick, take a step, and it goes flying into the stand. I'm like, oh my God. But I was gonna say that's one thing to note of. So I first came into that game thinking, okay, I don't know anybody. They don't know me. They just probably see me and they're like, okay, he could probably hit, but they're going to throw me a fastball.
Yeah.
So I thought my first thing is like, I just need to put the barrel on the ball, and right after that, I'm going to be chilling.
Yeah.
So my first at bat, I swung at the first pitch, grounded out to short, and I was like, all right, didn't want to do that, but I got the barrel, so anything that comes over the plate, I'm going to smack it.
Yeah.
Second AB or third AB, I got the home run, I got a double or whatever it is. But I also remember somebody in the dugout being like, yo, like, Joe was like saying like, don't swing at first pitches or blah, blah, blah. And then what I have to say to that is just play the game, but play your game. You have to understand what you do and what you do best and go play that game. Like yeah, people are going to have their opinions and say what they need to say, and like it's for a reason, but like you have to go in playing your best.
Yeah.
And my best is getting barrels. So if I see something over there, I need to take that chance and just, go from there. And if I'm not getting barrels, then, you take that approach. Maybe you see pitches, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe your team's not hitting,
Exactly, yeah.
So that was one thing I kind of struggled with, like getting into the pro scene, is like how to take professional at bats, because in youth and in college it's just swing, 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 hit the ball, hit the ball, hit the ball, hit the ball. But then now in the professional world, it's not just that. Like there's a little more to it. And one of the best pieces of advice that I got from some of the veterans was, hey, like just do you, you know what I mean? Especially if you're gonna go down, you know what I mean? You want to go down doing you. That way you have no one else to blame besides, somebody else. You doing what somebody else told you to do and it not working, and now like you have no idea what to do. So, but I was able to hone in on my game. Like I used to be swinging at first pitch if it's there, you know what I mean? Now I can auto.
Yeah, those auto takes are fun, bro.
They're fun,
yeah,
bro.
You just hear the pitchers like, what the hell? What was
the
that?
hell?
Yeah.
And then you smack one later in that bat, like, all right, now what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A classic one to that I did it yesterday. Just auto take first pitch, and it was a meaty fastball down the middle, and then I just like poker face, nothing, and then the pitcher was like, okay, and I knew he was gonna go curveball because I was like, oh, like I'm gonna get him with the curveball or something, and I smacked it for a double.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
It's just like
that's literally like, slapping the pitcher in the face, like saying you ain't shit. You throw a foul down, I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna smack something. Anything you throw, and we've been able to get so comfortable with that because of our training. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of good arms, you know what I mean, and a lot of good pitches, and we just got really comfortable in the fire. You know what I mean? And you can see when you get to wherever we play, like people aren't as comfortable in the fire, you know what I mean? They have to get their drills in, they have to get their tee work in, they have to cram for the test, basically. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
A lot of people cram for the test. And one thing that I've always taken is, I always forget his name, but Mike Tyson's boxing coach, he defines professionalism as someone who can do their craft any second, any day, any way, how. So to me, it's, I can roll out of bed, go to Friday Live ABs at 10 in the morning and smack a pitcher. That's professionalism. Yeah, and we do that every Friday.
Every Friday, you know what I mean? And then we practice that.
And we practice it.
We literally practice a show and go, because you never know when you're going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in college, you know what I mean? In pro ball, it's like, you have a 7 o'clock game on a Saturday and then a quick turnaround, a 10 a.m. game on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you traveled for 3-4 hours and now you have 1 hour to get ready.
Yeah, after catching 9 innings, like I kind of don't want to do my tee work and then kind of do front top. Like it's like, bro, like
that's draining.
It is draining. You have to conserve your energy for 100 games, 100 plus.
Yeah. And it gives you that mental edge knowing that you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, you feel confident. Yeah.
So, okay. So then so now we talked about, we kind of got into the pro world. Let's talk about we talked about hitting. Let's talk about your experience, like becoming a professional baseball player. You know, going from high school at Eastlake to Vanguard. You know, you kind of jumped around some Southwestern and some colleges, and you didn't obviously get the best experience there, but you signed your first pro contract. Last year with the NoCo Owls in the Pioneer League, and stories like this. Especially for our guys that we're kind of talking to right here, it's like it shows that there is a way to keep going, right? It shows that there's a way to keep playing baseball, to keep making a living out of this game that we all love. So let's talk about your experience at college. I forgot Mexico City. Yeah, you had the little stint in Mexico City. So let's talk about like you becoming a professional, like what you had to do, right, and what you're doing now, just to keep going and moving up in this game. Like, yeah, like what was your experience like?
So, quick start off, I think it probably started off like my senior year at Eastlake High School because we won. It was, I think, probably to this because now with the Cutternation team is a little different, we get the coaches involved, but the team that like I played for and stuff, I think that might have been one of the best teams because we just had so many guys. Like we had Ben Ramirez, he USC Mariners, Casey Schmidt, he's with the Giants, like Julian, we had Zane Mendoza, he was commit, like we had all Grant Holman, everybody was D1 commit. LJ Jones or like playing minor league ball, and then you had me. So everyone was D1, D2, and then NAIME. But the Lewis and Clark was a good school, but I didn't really understand the
Warriors,
game.
Nick
Lewis and Clark Warriors, yes.
Nick Siemens is out right now.
Yeah, Nick Siemens. Yeah, shout out the boy Nick Siemens.
I almost went there too. I almost went there.
School.
Yeah, I almost went there too. Damian Jackson with Game Face it was between Franklin Pierce and Lewis and Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a grinder school there, but it taught me a lot. And it was like that first taste of like, everyone's working hard, so you have to work hard too. Yeah. Like this is not a grab ass thing where we're just here like little league. Like this is men's.
People were good.
People were good. There was grown men there that were hitting the ball hard and throwing the ball hard, and they were like, "Fuck you" on the mound.
Yeah.
So that was my first taste of actually pro ball-ish experience.
Yeah.
So then after that, went the JUCO route, and then I went to Vanguard. Vanguard didn't give me the opportunity, 6 at bat in 3 years, so I ended up just quitting. Like it wasn't a good fit for me. It wasn't the place. So after that, I went to a tryout in TJ. 2 weeks later, ended up quitting right like before season ended. Dropped out of school. Didn't finish my degree. So then I went to a tryout in TJ. And from that tryout, I remember seeing like it was like a bunch of Mexico League coaches and the Diablos. And then it was like, you can tell it's the Diablos, they had the polo, all the nice get up. They're the Yankees of Mexico. Mm-hmm. So then I saw him and he left. He saw the BP and he left. And I was like, I did pretty good BP. I smacked a couple, but I was like, I don't think he got me. Like, I didn't think there was a chance. But then when I was out there in Canada, I was talking to Tabasco, one team, and then Mexico City called me, and it was just a lot of confusion, but I ended up with Mexico City. So that was like, it was a big turnaround. Like this is like I ended up quitting college. Like this is probably my last season ever playing baseball unless somebody signs me to pro ball. I don't know what numbers to give out. So it was kind of like could seem like rock bottom, and then Mexico City just picks me up and it gives me that it gives me that confidence, but it also gave me that resume and that kind of like to keep going. Like here's your pro ball, like use this, here's your opportunity, go and see what you got, and I did see what I got, and I could measure up with like, okay, this is a catcher that's been catching for like a couple years in the pros, this guy's a veteran, this guy's this, and it's like if I want to play there, this is what I have to do, and this is what I have to be. So that was a great learning experience. I learned everything I could from those guys. Like one guy that was a pitcher, Fernando Rodney. Like I remember I asked him, I was like, so like, cause I was like the whole argument with the glove down and this, and I was like, yo, Fernando, I was like, I asked him in Spanish, I was like, so what do you like better? And I was like, you're a pitcher, you're fucking, you know your name. Like, what do you like better, a catcher here or the ones that go there? And he's like, I like it how Yadier Molina catches, where he just puts his wrist right here, he puts the target here, relaxes here, and if it's down here, he picks it up. If it's right here, he catches it. Like, and I'm like, okay, that's settled. He told me that.
He told me that. That's an all-star. That's a freaking
all-star.
MLB vet. That's an...
Yadier Molina, that's the catcher I've learned how to catch from. Like, I'm sticking with that. So just learning that experience from Mexico City. And then I got released after spring training, and then that's when I went into the Black Sox, kind of put that stamp in there. And that was kind of a shock because it's kind of from going from like having peanut butter, jelly, Nutella spreads, and like Gatorades and everything, and like massages, like the whole treatment, to then just like, like Black Sox baseball. where, I mean, it's not that it's bad or anything. Like, it's really a blessing to be out here. Like, I'm here with my friends playing baseball. Like, the little Brian would be ecstatic of how happy he is right now. But it's just a shock, and it's just understanding like there's levels within levels of pro ball, and you can still make a living within all these levels, but it's just like a matter of how you play the game and like how well you do and what you have to be in order to be on what level.
Right.
So I think that's just like the outcome. And then right after the Black Sox, played in Kenosha for a little bit, got a job as a bullpen catcher in Chicago Dogs. And again, that was kind of like going up in the caliber. Like, that was a really good clubhouse in the sense of like there was MLB guys in there. There was countless
the American
MLB
Association.
guys. Yeah,
that's probably the
like
toughest league. Best competition in there.
Like, I remember right before going there, Tiger was like, yo, like, do you know who's on your team? Like, look at your roster. Like, this guy played here for this team in the MLB, this team for the Reds, Padres, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, damn. He's like, learn what you can. And I did. Like, I learned a lot. And right after that, got the opportunity for the Norco Owls. So I signed professionally. And then, now we're here looking for another job.
Yeah, hell yeah. So what was it like in going from the Dogs clubhouse to where you have a lot of experienced MLB vets, indie ball vets, minor league vets, to the Pioneer League where they're trying to be the rookie league. They got guys fresh out of college, young guys, there's an age limit and stuff like that. But let's compare those two clubhouses where you're the bullpen guy in one and now you're a player. You're the newest rookie on the other one. So let's talk about that.
So I would just say, regardless, let's just put like the facilities aside and stuff like that. Like, 'cause the facilities in Norco Owl was still nice and stuff, but like obviously the Chicago Dogs invest a lot more money into it. But I think what I really saw was pressure. Like, in the Chicago Dogs, there wasn't really like people handled themselves more professionally in the sense of like how they did their job, they handled it good or bad, and then they kept on going with their lives. Like, they were grown men, like they had their other lives to go after, and they were just like, this is a job, and then, and they had fun. Like, I noticed the bullpen was a lot of fun. Like, I didn't know you could have fun in the bullpen, actually. Like, there was like countless games that we were playing, but it was like because everybody knew their job. Like, everybody knew exactly what to do and when to do it, when to get warm and all that stuff. So, and as opposed maybe to the Owls, it was a little bit, it just reminded me more of like my college experience. Like, I don't know, it was just like, the pitchers, first of all, like in the Dogs, it was just like, dotted. And then as opposed maybe in the Owls, like guys were a little bit more wild, a little bit more out here. And I could kind of see it get to them in a sense, while as opposed to guys on the Dogs, might have got to them, but it wasn't as, didn't show it as
wasn't
bad.
End of the world either.
Wasn't end of the world, exactly. And then it was a big difference of like Pioneer League is like guys coming out of college, kind of that age. The Rookie League, exactly. And then this is more having experience, have been through all that, been through the struggles, the ups and downs. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing I noticed. The Dogs, they didn't really take it to heart, and then here it was more like you could feel and see the pressure within them.
Yeah. Because, like, you talked about, like, they had lives outside of baseball, right? And that's, like, a big thing that people kind of take for granted. Like, I thought going out of, like, once I left college, all I had to worry about was baseball, right? And that's what I kind of wanted, and damn, was I wrong, you know what I mean? Like, now you actually have to live life as a functional adult, as a functional, just a human being, right? And then you can see, like, the younger guys who all they're worried about is baseball. Yeah, like, they're going to put some pressure on them because that's all they got. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just baseball. Like, there are way more important things than baseball outside of it. And when you kind of take that perspective, it kind of takes the pressure off of baseball, right? And allows you just to have fun, enjoy, be grateful for your experiences, and be grateful for your opportunities. So, and then when I was able to do that, like, match my life outside of baseball, get that going, get in a better place outside of baseball, I was able to play a lot better. Because I remember my first year in pro ball, right? My parents were funding a lot of it and stuff like that. And then I kind of saw from the vets, like how you saw they all had their own thing going outside to keep their baseball career going, right? So they didn't have to worry about what was going on outside. Like when they can switch back and forth between baseball, but when all you have is baseball, and then like, okay, you have a bad day, you take that off the field, and now you're just thinking about that bad day. Versus like, okay, now I got to go work a job. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that baseball's over. Now I got to go do this. I have my family to take care of, whatever. But having that perspective really helped me. Then, me getting injured and stuff like that kind of gave me a little reset to figure my life out outside of baseball, and that's when I really got involved with Cutternation.
I was gonna say injury. I mean, we both had a torn labrum.
Yeah,
like that'd be a good thing. Yeah. So what was your experience like?
Yeah. So like it was like that's why I went to Cutternation.
Exactly.
Yeah. So me and you got to like basically build our arms from zero. You know what I mean? So, training there, like I was like, okay, I'm listening to anything and everything that they're saying in this place because I don't know shit. I really don't know shit about throwing.
Yeah, same.
Right, and then I got to really reset. Even when I had my Tommy John, you know what I mean? That was one reset for me that I had in college. I got to build my arm up, and everyone's like, "Oh, just focus on mechanics and do all that." You know what I mean? Worry about your mechanics when you do this throwing program and stuff like that. I'm like, "Oh yeah, duh." You know what I mean? But like, no one really was able to tell me like what the right mechanics were. Or, even then, like, I didn't have a throwing coach walking me through this program, make sure I was doing everything right. And yeah, Tommy John, like, I was able to get my arm stronger. Like, I was throwing like 86 from the outfield. Then after Tommy John, I got it to 92, right? But it was really from the sheer volume of throwing. Like, that's when I first learned that you have to throw like you're working out. You know what I mean? Not just play catch until you're warm, right? Yeah. You have to kind of push it past that. So the amount of throws I did was really what got me my arm stronger.
Yeah.
Now, was it sustainable? No, because I hurt my arm again. You know what I mean? Because I was throwing a lot, but I wasn't throwing right. So then I hurt my arm again, and that's when I had to take a real reset, find a throwing coach, right? And then obviously, guys that can still do the thing were, in my eyes, the best coaches.
Yeah.
Right, because they can teach and do the thing. Yeah, you don't have to be a good player to be a good coach. But in my life, the best coach I had was Damian Jackson, and he was able to do the things. Right, and then now John was able to do the things. All the throwing coaches, Eric and Taylor, all could do the thing, show you and teach it. Right, so it made a lot of sense to me, and then I was really able to build my arm up from there, back to throwing healthy, right, back to throwing hard and stuff like that. So and then me and you got to really bond over that because we were just in it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was really cool for me.
No, yeah, and I mean, the torn labrum, it was just like, I think it took me about a year, like, to actually, like, get 100% through the whole process and stuff like that, and it was just, like, having Cutternation there was, like, really a blessing because it just got me back the quickest way possible,
right,
and pain-free, because even to this day, like, because I remember, like, when I tore my labrum, my college coach told me, he's like, oh, that's how I tore my labrum, and that's why I quit baseball. So, and he's like, oh, well, good luck with that, Brian. And I was like, yeah, we're different. Like, you didn't have Cutternation.
Yeah, you didn't go try to fix it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, most coaches or most people who are done playing baseball is because they hurt their arms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even pitching coaches nowadays can't really throw, or don't really know how to fix a hurt arm.
Exactly. And one thing I do want to credit it to, like, a lot of my injuries and stuff, and this could be controversial, but I've done a lot of PRPs, like ozone, just regeneration medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That to me has just been it's just been a blessing. Like, it started off with my mom having a 13 millimeter hernia in her disc, and she was sleeping on a yoga ball for like two months.
Yeah.
Like, she was eating, sleeping, and all that, and my dad was looking for a doctor. And here in the United States at the time, this was like 2015, 16, ozone wasn't approved by the FDA because it really didn't make money. It was a cheap alternative, and it cured a lot of people. It helped a lot of things. And there was one in Mexico City, one in TJ, and we ended up going to the one in TJ. One injection of the ozone. Ozone is pretty much O3, which is air, pretty much into the lumbar,
yeah,
and she was walking. She was able to walk and stuff like that, and it was great. And then same thing in high school and stuff, because of not throwing right, I had injuries in my elbow, my shoulder. I was able to get it fixed. I tore my LCL like one day sliding at home. Like a guy came in, my knee it got dislocated, my ankle, and I was playing in a showcase in a month.
Yeah.
So it's just like all this type of stuff that like it just has helped me a lot. And then now PRP is more common like here in the States and stuff, and I'm just glad that more athletes and this type of medicine is reaching out to more athletes and stuff, and maybe even the kids. Like now if you get injured or you get like a Tommy John, it doesn't have to be a career ending. It could be
sure.
You still live your life, and even when you're old, you don't have to have a hip replacement. You can still live life happy and healthy.
Yeah, there are ways to fix your body.
There are ways to fix your body, like the acumobility. That's huge. Like the deep tissue and stuff. Like I feel like just doing that every day will like alleviate your injuries 80-90%. Like it's just like you're tight.
Yeah,
like,
people just don't know how to do it. Or willing to do it, they think, fuck, my knee's fucked up, you know what I mean?
My knee's messed up, like no, just roll it out.
Just roll it out, do some strengthening for it, you know what I mean? You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Cool, so, alright. Last thing I want to talk about is, what are we doing now? You know what I mean? What's next for you? What's next for us? You know what I mean? Let's talk about your Florida experience first of all, right? So we're here with the Black Sox, right? The fact that we're living together with Pepe and Skillman, I think is freaking awesome. I remember when we first lived together in Pittsburgh last year. It was like, okay, you know, when you live with someone, like you really get to know them better at a deeper level. You know what I mean? Because you see them all the time. You get to see what they're really about, how they actually go about their life. And you know, I was definitely not worried at all about you, right? It was just you've been the same Brian, right? On the field, off the field, in the house, you know what I mean? And that's what makes it freaking fun as hell because, and mostly with everyone at Cutternation, everyone's the same person all the time. Whether we're doing bad, whether we're struggling in life, or whether we're doing really good, you know what I mean? We can still vibe out, we can still have fun, you know what I mean? Whether we have any kind of disagreement, you know what I mean? Especially with, you know, like me and Andy, right? We have disagreements all the fucking time, right? And we get into it. And, you know, we yell at each other and stuff like that. But I know that me and him, like, we're that close to where we can have those disagreements. And at the end of the day, like, that's still my boy. You know what I mean? And me and you have gotten to that. And then, so, this is our second time living together. We're in a different place, probably a way better place. You know?
It's Florida, bro. The
beach
beach is right over there, bro.
Yeah. You know? The beach is right there, and we're playing baseball every day. So let's talk about your initial Florida experience and kind of like what's next for you.
So my initial Florida experience, like I've never been to Florida. I've always wanted to come out here, and it's awesome. It's really green. Like I love it. Like I love the weather. Like there was one day that I got bit by mosquitoes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like you know, like it's nice. Like it's hot. It's really nice. I love the weather here. I love seeing the boys again. Like I love the Black Sox environment since the last year and this year again. It's just been great so far. Like the bat's been pretty good. Like it's just like coming out here, just running out, cleaning up with the boys, putting on my pants, just moving around, swinging the bat. Like it's just great.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a blast right now.
It's with the boys, man. It's grinding up with the boys, and that's what I really like about the Black Sox. You know what I mean? Is that you get to really connect with these guys who are all kind of on the same grind, you know, same position. Whether you've played at this level or not, whether you just got back in baseball, we never played baseball before, it doesn't really matter. We're all here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all here. We're all getting after it. And yes, you know, you can see who's good and who's not. You know what I mean? Who's a pro and who's not. You kind of learn from those people who have kind of been there. You know what I mean? And, you know, we just get to play baseball. And, you know, the Cutternation boys are banging. You know what I mean? It's cool. Joe talks shit about Cutternation a little bit, you know, but it's all good fun. You know what I mean? But like, hey, you know,
fun,
it's double or nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, double or nothing,
like,
let's go.
You know, 1 for 3, you hit a double, you know what I mean? I had 2 doubles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, what we're doing is working, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I truly believe that what we do works. You know, guys, you know, the pro guys like Dean, Julian, Nick Siemens,
Randy,
Randy, like all of our people. We haven't even gotten about what works on the pitching side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you guys keep doing your thing because like all our pro guys, you know, I mean, it's gonna be fun watching what happens with them, what happens with us. Mark Contreras, another guy who loved it. So
I know. Oh, I was gonna say one question. So, when someone asks you, what is the Black Sox? What do you tell them?
Oh my God, I love how everyone hates this question. Long story short, it's a free agent organization, right? Ran by this guy Joe Torre, not the Yankees Joe Torre, this is the indie ball Joe Torre, but it's a free agent organization where he sets up games, practices, workouts, just anything and everything all over the country to go get an opportunity, right? Is whether it's an opportunity to sign or an opportunity to get better, opportunity to learn how to play the game as a professional, how to be a pro, you know what I mean? And, you know, yes, I learned stuff about, like, how to play the game better, but, like, how to be a pro was something that Joe really taught me that I really got to observe, you know what I mean? Cutting out all the eyewash, you know what I mean? What people are looking at, you know what I mean? Yeah, all that. How to really go about your business as a professional, and you can really tell the difference between the amateurs and the pros, like the way they warm up, the way they show up to the field, the way they look on the field, the way they dress, you know what I mean, the way they talk, act, the way, and obviously the way they play. And like now, like we've gone to a couple workouts together, just open workouts, open tryouts, right? And you can see the difference between the Cutternation guys and everybody else. And I don't know, like we haven't been to many workouts with the Black Sox yet, but even me, like I've showed up with a bunch of Black Sox guys, and you can see by the way we handle a workout versus the way some guys handle the workout. You know what I mean? Like there's guys like, oh, I got to get signed right now. I got to get signed. And to other Black Sox guys who kind of know the deal, it's like, it's just another day of baseball for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether I get signed or not, obviously the goal is to get signed and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just another day on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you treat it like that and you take the pressure off, like versus the guys who stress about their, you know, in workout you get 2 rounds of BP, 2 at bats. You know what I mean? If you're stressing about that, then you're probably on your way out.
Exactly.
Like, at least we know with the Black Sox is that we'll always have an opportunity. We'll always have more at bats, right? So even in these games, right? There's some people's like, I gotta hit the ball now. I gotta hit the ball now. It's like, no, you don't really have to, like, because you're gonna get more at bats. If you feel like these are your only at bats, then you might as well just quit now. But we know that with Joe and with the Black Sox, that even with Cutternation, like we'll always have more at bats to be had, and so we can take that pressure off and just do what we do, work on things that we need to work on, and you know, just keep playing.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's just like all you can really ask is just another day to clean up and another opportunity to throw a ball and to swing the bat.
Yeah, because that's the real way to get to professional baseball, right? You just got to keep playing.
Really, yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's a lot of guys at Vanguard who are just done playing.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Any guys have gone pro? Any guys that gone pro, signed a pro contract since then?
I think Joe Johnson, he's the only one that is that signed a pro contract. He's with the Grand Junction. He's
Grand Junction. Same league. So
yeah, same league, yeah. Yeah.
Funny how that works out.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just that's the only guy that, and then there's a couple guys that have reached out to me about like the pitching side and what they can do and stuff like that. But other than that, like even at junior college, all my other colleges, I really don't think.
Yeah, because they stopped.
Yeah, it's like maybe 1 or 2 in the past, but everybody else is just they stopped.
So if you just keep playing, keep getting better, keep meeting new people, right? Because we I'm really excited for this road tour that you get to go on because this will be your first year on the road tour. It's one hell of an experience, not just the playing part, but everything that goes into it, the traveling, the housing, right? The new stadiums, playing against pro teams, right? Getting with your boys, you know what I mean? Obviously having Joe in the dugouts an experience in itself, but that's one hell of an experience that I feel like you're going to learn a lot from. You're going to, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's been one of the funnest things that I've done with Joe, and also a learning experience. So yeah, just keep playing. That's really it.
Yeah, what does Babe Ruth say? It's hard to beat somebody that never gives up.
Yeah, right. It's really it. You know.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to say to our guys back home before we wrap this up?
All I really gotta say is for everyone watching back home is just keep going. Just whatever you're doing, just keep going at it. Whatever it is, whatever you find happiness in, just keep going. That's it. Don't stop.
Yeah.
I think that's like kind of where people kind of regret things later in life is when they stop doing the things that they love.
Yeah.
to replace it for whatever reason. Yeah, but just keep going. That's it.
Yeah,
just
you gotta empty the tank.
Gotta empty the tank.
Yeah. If you got more than the tank, you gotta keep going.
Yes.
But all right, well, I think we're good. This has been fun. Yeah. So
yeah, that's fun.
We'll definitely do more of these. I think as the road tour happens, we're gonna, me and you will probably, obviously everyone goes their separate ways, throughout the year and stuff like that. So, hopefully you get signed. I don't have any doubt that you're one of the best catchers here. So, and I've been saying that since we brought you onto the Black Sox. We know an idea. You see the list of people coming into the Black Sox. Brian Reyes, who the fuck is this guy? Like, nobody knew who you were, but like obviously I did. So like I was telling our guy Max, like, hey, if you can get this Reyes, if you can get Reyes, get him. You know what I mean? And then Cole did his homework. Yeah, Cole did his homework. Yeah, I looked you up on Instagram. Cole did his homework, saw that you were one of our guys. He's like, all right, this guy's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
So, yeah.
Killer Bees, baby, Killer Bees. That was fun. Yeah. Shout out Cole.
But, all right, Brian, thanks for doing this.
No, that was fun. Yeah. That was hella fun.
Let's
we'll
keep
do it
going.
again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll talk about the tour. We'll talk about once you get signed. Once I get signed, then we can kind of go back and forth between our games, and I think that will provide a lot of value for our kids back home to tell them what we learned and what our experience has been like.
Yeah, down. Let's get it. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, quick shout out to the recovery drink. Yo, this thing is bomb. I remember when I first had this, like I was in the middle of a workout and the guy came in and I was like, dude, what is this? And yo, this is really good. If you can get yourself one, like they sell it pretty much at any supermarket store. Recovery drink. My favorite, the fruit punch. Try it out for yourself.